New Bedford is the third busiest court in the state, but it's one of the older buildings. So there's a very limited number of people who can get in there on a daily basis, and it's not conducive to having a jury trial under any of the guidelines right now. So, we've instituted, which they've done in many courts, these trial readiness conferences, and that's for any cases that are marked currently for jury trial or have been over the last year, to gauge, where it's going. So is it going to resolve? Is there an offer to resolve it? Is the judge kind of trying to force the parties into some sort of resolution that may be amenable to everybody? However, if you are ready for trial, then you don't get another date. They just say, all right, we'll put you in the queue, and then we'll contact you when you can have a trial. Yeah. So that's difficult. I've been trying to avoid that. I've been trying to just select jury waived trials for now on many of the cases that I can, or that I reasonably would do a bench trial on, just to at least try to take that shot if I can take it, rather than having these people just hang out in limbo for, who knows how long.
Yeah, I think the strange thing is, so one, obviously there's a lot of BMC courts who are sending all their trials downtown for trial dates. And there's supposed to be selective trial dates on particular weeks. Some courts are doing that, some courts aren't. There's questions if it's going down for a trial readiness conference or a trial date. Then when we're in BMC Central, the other issue is, I had a trial readiness conference earlier this week, and I couldn't get a trial date. Best thing that the judge could give me was a trial readiness conference in late August. So I was like, Judge, what if we pick September? What if we pick October? Can I get a trial date? He's like, well, no, the best I can still give you in that situation is a trial readiness conference. So I think it's a little bit of confusion. One, they seem to be sending things downtown for trial, probably for really trial readiness conferences. But on the other hand, even when you're at BMC Central, you really can't get a trial date. Bench trial, I asked, I was like, well, it would be different if it was a bench trial. And the judge really said the same thing. It's like, you really still need to go through a trial and readiness conference, which I thought we were going through on that court date. So this is my second trial readiness conference. So they seem to be continuing to punt things down the road.
Right. Right. And it's probably going to keep happening. Yeah. I think a lot of this is just trial and error. It's trying to find ways to start making a dent in the backlog that we have, which is significant, right? And it's only growing, because these cases just keep coming in left and right. So until we can really resume the normal, business practice that we had with trials, we're just going to be delayed, and so I think that's important for everybody to know when they retain us, is that, look, here are the possibilities. There's a possibility that you might not have a trial. You're certainly not going to have it this year, not in 2021, and it's probably going to be, sometime next year, hopefully, but maybe not. I don't know.
I think it's also important for them to know early on, because they have that level of comfort, so they know we're just not continuing cases because we're bad lawyers. It's just that's what's happening with the system, and
right.
You definitely want to be honest up front, but it also gives them some guidance in terms of factoring that in terms of what they want to do with their case, right?
Right.
That they understand that if they want their day in court, it's going to take a lot longer than the pre-pandemic times.
Right. Right. And that's a great point. And that's what I would tell people, is that prior to COVID, on a standard OUI case, depending on the court, I would tell somebody, look, the normal lifespan of a case from arraignment to trial can be anywhere from, as quick as 4 months to up to a year, depending on where we are to have a trial. Now, I have no idea. And so it depends on where you're at. Like I've said, we've been able to start doing a lot of bench trials recently. Feels like I have one every day, but which is nice to put a dent in the backlog. But not every case is that type of case either. Some of them right. you actually need a jury to do.
Well, let's put it this way: you haven't lost one yet since the
No.